For for when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Now, I don't want you guys to take this as ridicule or judging or this. But let me just tell my story first. Maybe this is make it more easy for you to receive. I started preaching it. I did my what they call initial sermon October 21st, 2007. I was ordained as a reverend in the Baptist Church in 2009. I started a ministry called the Better Day Ministries in 2012. I became the associate pastor at the Baptist Church and Garrett's Grove Missionary Baptist Church in Wadsboro, North Carolina in 2009. So I was the associate pastor of a Baptist church, and I had what we call evangelical ministry called the Better Day Ministry. We started in 2012. In 2014, I was awakened to the truth that I was not a black man, I was not an African American, that I was from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel. I have been preaching and I was saved since I got saved in April 2003. I have been saved, you understand, for 11 years. I've been preaching for 7. I had my own ministry for 2 when the truth was awakened to me. The Most High did not release me to preach this truth for 3 years. I had to be retaught. I had to relearn. So I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't already done myself. I continue to operate as an associate pastor of a Baptist church. I did not lead the Baptist church until 2016. I continue to travel around the southern part of the country, doing events, Hello Men's conferences and women's conferences and Friday night events, knowing that I was an Israelite, but not released by the Most High to teach it until I was retaught myself. I'm not telling you something that I'm not coming at you today sitting on a high seat looking down. I'm telling you that I was down there and the Most High elevated me up to bring this truth to you today. So when you hear this don't make a slack to you. I'm especially saying this to my pastors out there. You understand? Read it again for him, Dick. He says what?
For when the time ye ought to be teachers.
And there's many of you right now that's been in the church for a long time. And some of you both been teaching the people. You ain't led a person to Christ your whole life. The people on the job don't even know that you know Christ. And they're not based on how you live it, it's the base you don't have nothing to offer to their life. You're not praying for anyone outside of your immediate family. You understand? You sit there and watch people talk reckless and say things on social media and say things in your presence and in public, and you don't say anything. No light, no salt. You understand? Read it again for him. Deacon says what?
For the time ye ought to be teachers.
You ought to be teachers.
You have need that one teach you again.
You have need for one to teach you again. All this time you've been in the church and it's time, you actually need a new teacher. Some of you have been pastoring for years. And it's a shame that it's the truth of the matter, many pastors don't even have the ability to actually lead someone to Christ. I wouldn't say that if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. Because these days in these churches now, if you can put a couple of Bible verses together and you can jump and holler and jump on the tables and run around the room and sweat and hoop and holler, they make you a pastor. Because people want a preacher today. They don't want pastors. They're actually getting pastors up out of there. Anybody that want to lead and mold their people, unless you start a church, it's really hard for you to find one. People want to be preached to today. They want to be gassed up. They want what they see on TV and the Daystar. You want hope, prosperity. No truth, no commitment, no devotion to the Most High, nothing. You don't want to give nothing, don't want to tithe, don't want to do nothing. Read it again. Dickie says what?
For the time ye ought to be teachers.
You ought to be teachers.
You have need that one teach you again.
Right.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
You're going to have to learn the first principles of the Most High. You need to learn the law. You really learn the true Christ. You really need to understand who Christ really is and what he died for. It's a shame right now that you got many people that's in the church been in there for years and you say what an Israelite is and they think that's a religion. Like I said, if somebody in the world says that to me, that's one thing, but people in the church with a I'm a Christian t-shirt on, you say I'm an Israelite, they don't know what it is. You know why? Because they've been listening to the people on TV and they start telling them that the God's people is Jewish. And I really want to bring that out, but I'm so behind right now, I just don't got time. But if the Spirit tells me as I get there, if it is, then I may go there. But let's move on. Let's go to verse 13.
For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe.
For he is a babe. I don't care how long you've been in the church. I don't care how long you've been preaching, how long you've been a deacon. I don't care how long you've been in there since you was a newborn baby. Read it again, Deacon. He says what?
For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe.
When I sit down and talk to people, and the only thing they tell me is Christian rhetoric and no Bible verses, I know right there and there, they're a baby. Gray hairs, babies. Many of them got doctorate degrees and master's degrees from theological school and still don't know the Bible. Because when you go there to those schools, they ain't teaching you the Bible. They teaching you about some guy, some Edomite from Europe who done wrote his idea of the Bible. You understand? That's what you're hearing. You're not hearing the Bible. You're hearing how to write a sermon. You understand? But that's what's going on. Verse 14.
For strong meat belonging to them that are of fillet.
Right?
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
And one of the things that's really the problems with is that you're seeing young boys right now, 19, 20, 21-year-old boys, breaking these precepts down. These pastors are angry and prideful and not want to admit that they've been held accountable for. Because the Spirit of the Most High is on them. And I know what that to be true because I dealt with it when I was young. When I was younger, I used to have the same thing. They telling me, young boy, you'll get it one day. No, I don't want to get none of that you got. Now, you got to preach the Baptist doctrine. They were telling me that ever since I started preaching. Son, you got to preach the Baptist doctrine. I couldn't find that nowhere in the Bible. So I never preached the Baptist doctrine, even though I was at a Baptist church for 13 years. You got to preach the Baptist doctrine, son. That's the only way. I ain't seen that yet. I've never seen the book of John Smith. That's who came up with the Baptist doctrine. I ain't seen it yet. If anybody find it, you make sure you burn that book. Let's go to Sirach. For those who just coming on, the next lesson is entitled The Growing Pains in the Truth. For those who have a separate tablet, laptop, or phone, go to Google and Google, put in Sirach, Sirach 32, chapter 32, verses 7 to 21. You understand? I think we got to bring out that Jewish stuff, man. We might have to do that. I need to move on, though. Sirach 32, let's start at verse 7.
Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Read that again for him.
Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Now, we started here, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to talk to my brothers and sisters who are in the truth, who are very young. And some of you are very passionate about getting this understanding. And you think that just because the Most High has blessed you with some understanding that you're supposed to be running off at the mouth every chance you get and disrespecting your elders and those who've been in this, that's been serving the Most High longer you've been alive. This is one of the things the Most High taught me years ago. I don't care if what they're saying is off or not. I have always respected my elders. And that's the reason why when I left the Christian church, none of the bridges have been burnt. Now, some of them are inaccessible, and that's because they broke off their part of the bridge. They don't want to deal with me, but I ain't never burnt my part of it. Because you notice that for those who are with us every Sabbath, you know we don't never say names on here. We don't never say churches. We don't call out people in general at all. We just teach the doctrine. Like I said, I don't have a problem with Baptist pastors. I have a problem with John Smith. You understand? I don't have a problem with Seventh-day Adventists. I have a problem with Ellen G. White. I don't have a problem with the Methodists. I have a problem with people who go to Zion churches. I have a problem with John Wesley. I have a problem with the slave masters of America who put this onto our people. I don't have a problem with people who are in the Protestant church. I have a problem with Martin Luther. That's who my beef was with. Not my brothers and sisters who are doing what they've been taught. Nah. I have a problem with the Edomites who brought it. Because I know what the agenda behind it is. You understand? So what I'm saying is this. Read it again for him, Deacon. It says what? Sirach 32, verse 7. It says what?
Speak, young man.
Speak, young man.
If there be need of thee.
If this situation is necessary, you speak on it.
And yet scarcely
But go ahead.
Yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
But that doesn't mean every situation needs you to be asked. And if somebody's asking you a question, or they ask you your opinion on something, then you speak. I be in the barbershop all the time, and ladies and gentlemen, it be some madness getting spoken there, and I be sitting right there, I don't say nothing. Because the majority of them that's saying it is members of the Christian church, and I don't want to call them out. I know them. So I just sit there, and my barbers, my homeboys, they just be looking at me like, hey, you going? Nope. Show like. Because I know what's going to happen when you deal with somebody publicly. Now they're going to get on the defense. And now it's going to turn into something else. And so this is one of the growing pains of the truth. It is you're going to have to learn when it's time to speak and when it's time to be quiet. You understand? And we're going to get into that in a minute because we're going to go to, when we talk about Joseph, we're going to precept to Matthew 7 and we're going to show you that in a minute. So let's move on. Verse 8.
Let thy speech be short.
Let thy speech be short.
Comprehending much in few words.
Right.
He is one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
So Sirach is telling us, he said, listen, don't get on there trying to just be deep for nothing. Just trying to be known just because you got a lot to say. He said, make the comprehension be known in a few words. But he says, be known as a person who know the truth, but can sit back and observe. I had some stuff brought to me today by one of my brothers that I got much love for. I know I was getting ready for the Sabbath. I wasn't even going to go in back and forth with him. I know better. But that's my brother. So you know what? You got it. You understand? Because I was speaking specifically about my woman. Okay. I wasn't talking about nobody else's woman. I'm talking about mine. So I know what's going between mine and the Most High. I'm not going to be concerned with everybody else's opinion when it comes to that. You understand? Just like the same way when it comes to the people that are involved with Better Day. I'm only going to speak about what we talk about here. I'm not going to talk about what some other elder, what they call on. I'm not going to be talking about what holy day they keep. I'm going to talk about what the Most High told me to tell my people. You understand? Because as far as I'm concerned, we are brothers and sisters. Verse 9.
If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them.
Right.
When ancient men are in place, use not many words.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to understand that when we are dealing with elders, when you're dealing with people that are older than you, many times you don't need to be talking at all. You understand? You need to be sitting back with your mouth closed like this and your ears open. Because one of the things that, and I'm specifically talking to my people that's in the truth right now, is because you're thinking now that just because some pastor don't know the Bible verses or don't know about the Apocrypha, don't know Jubilees and Enoch, you think that man or that woman ain't got nothing to tell you. And like I said before, many of them been serving the Most High and serving Christ longer than you've been alive. You understand? Read it again, Deacon. Says what?
Thou be among great men.
When thou be among great men,
Think not thyself equal with them.
listen, bro, listen. Let me tell you something. I know what the Most High allowed me to do in this as far as this gospel is concerned. But when my spiritual fathers is in the room, I'm in the room with them. I'm sitting back like a little boy, like this. No, I'm not equal with none of you. I ain't traveled the world like you have. I don't got the churches and mass people like you have. There's not people around the world calling on me like they call on you. No, I'm not equal with you. And what does he say?
And when ancient men are in place,
When the ancient men are in place,
use not many words.
use not many words. Listen, you remember in Matthew 17, when Christ and Elijah and Moses was there, and Peter was in there running off in the mountain, man, we're going to build an altar to you, Elijah. We're going to build one for you, Moses. We're going to build one for Christ. The Most High came out of heaven and said, hear ye him. They said, Peter, why are you talking? Shut up. Hear Christ. Hear my son. Hear Yeshua. You have no reason to be talking right now with Moses and Elijah and Yeshua standing there. Why are you talking? So I'm specifically saying this to my young brothers and sisters. You need to understand and have the honor and respect is due. This is the growing pains of the truth. You understand? Watch this. Verse 10. We're at deep. Verse 9.
Before the thunder goeth light, and before a shamefaced man shall go favor.
You see that? He says, before that lightning, you see that lightning, you're going to hear thunder. He said, before you get favor, it's going to be a man who has walked in what we call shamefaced. It calls in integrity and humility. That's what's going to bring about the favor for your life. That's going to open up doors for you. Not necessarily your knowledge, but your willingness to walk in integrity and humility. Because I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. People are going to want to know that you care before they care what you know. I'm going to say that again. People are going to want to know that you care before they care to care what you know. You understand? So if you want these favor to get in these places and let the Most High use you, you're going to have to walk around in a position of a prostrate of humility and honor for those who've been out there longer than you have. This is the growing pains of the truth. Verse 11.
Rise up betimes and be not in the last, but get thee home without delay.
Right.
There take thy pastimes and do what thou wilt, but sin not thy proud speech.
She said, listen, bro, listen, you don't need to be all out in the streets. And I'm talking to my leaders now. Where you want to be in every place, you want to go to every church, you want to go to every meeting, you got to be everywhere. Listen, sometimes you need to be home. You need to be at your house. And when you go to your house, when you go amongst your wife and your children, when you go amongst your husband and your children, your family, you don't need to be walking around in there, elder this, pastor this, Mr. this, entrepreneur this, all this. You need to be mama, daddy, sister, brother. You need to be right back to a regular who you are. You got to leave your accomplishments and you got to leave your successes at the door. When you come home, don't be walking around in there like, I'm going to go to such and such. Get out of here. Your children don't need to be knowing you like that. Your children need to know you as father, mother. Your family need to know you as this. Man, listen, I wish my mom was right here all the time. My mom always, when, in Christian church, they all do this, give honor this, and I don't understand why, but that's what they do. I hate for my mama to do that to me. I hate it. I'm her son. You don't honor me ever. Okay? Ever. You understand? I hate that. And I had to accept it because she ain't gonna stop. Because she respect my office, she respect my position. But I used to tell them, listen, it was a transition for me when I even started preaching, for people to start calling me minister. I just be like, listen, man, call me L, man. And then when I got ordained, it went from that to bishop to reverend to apostle to whatever. It just depends on the day or who I was talking to. And I'm just like, just call me L. Yo. You understand? So we got to take those titles off when we go to the crib. Watch this, verse 12. 13.
And for these things, bless him that made thee.
That's
and
right.
has replenished thee with his good things.
That's right.
Whoso fears the Lord will receive his discipline.
Right.
And they that seek him early shall find favor.
Read that again.
Whoso fears the Lord will receive his
The
discipline.
ones that fear the Most High, you're going to receive that discipline. You're going to receive that correction. But he says what?
And they that seek him early
But those who seek him early,
shall find favor.
don't be trying to seek the Most High when the problem comes. Don't wait till she getting ready to walk out the door to seek the Most High, understanding how to be a better husband. Don't wait till you done burnt the bridge at your job to say, Most High, come in and restore me. No. Seek him early. Watch this. Verse 15.
He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith.
Uh-huh.
But the hypocrite.
But the who?
But the hypocrite.
But the who?
But the hypocrite will be offended thereat.
Wow. Read that again.
He that seeketh the law
He that seeketh the Most High's law
shall be filled therewith.
will be filled with it.
But the hypocrite.
But the who?
But the hypocrite.
But the Christian.
But the hypocrite.
But the Baptist.
But the hypocrite.
And the Time.
The hypocrite.
And the non-denominational.
But the hypocrite.
Uh-huh.
Will be offended thereat.
Will be offended. It's amazing to me that people who say they follow the Bible are offended when the Bible is open. Okay? This is how I know where you truly stand with the Most High. Because once the Bible comes open, you have a problem. That's all of a sudden now, you don't want to hear it. All of a sudden now, you're judging me. Remember that night, Feast of Dedication? Asking questions. They thought we was going to do random conversations, random statements. We don't do that. You talk about the Most High, we don't quote Lavender, we don't quote Jay. Precepts coming out. Man, you're judging me. I ain't read from the book of Lavender. He sure won't read from the book of Jay. Why did you ask the questions that you didn't want to answer? Read it again.
He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith.
Uh-huh.
But the hypocrite.
But the conscious person.
But the hypocrite.
But the hotep.
But the hypocrite.
But the Egyptologist.
But the hypocrite.
But the woke person.
But the hypocrite.
Uh-huh.
Will be offended thereat.
Will be offended. That's how it happens. Because largely the reason why people are against the Bible, because the Bible speaks on the evil and wicked lifestyle that they're living. But they can have those conversations with everybody else. And they be like, yo, that's a righteous brother. According to what standard? Okay. Okay. According to Ashay and Yoruba and Osiris and Iris and those characters, maybe. Not according to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? Verse 16.
They that fear the Lord shall find judgment.
Uh-huh.
And shall kindle justice in light.
Mm-hmm.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
Read that again.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
Uh-huh.
But find an excuse according to his will.
Man, listen, bro. Listen, man. You trying to tell me, man, all these people out here that cooking that pork, that it's bad, the Most High ain't gonna let me into heaven when I read that, when I eat that. Read it again.
They that fear the Lord shall find judgment.
Uh-huh.
And shall kindle.
No, verse 17.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
A sinful man will not be corrected.
But find an excuse according to his will.
Listen, man, I know Christmas ain't in the Bible. I know that. But we're doing it for the kids. Read it again.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
Right.
But find an excuse according to his will.
Yeah, man, I understand, man, that he might not have rose on a Sunday, you know what I'm saying? And Sunday may not be the Sabbath. But this is what the Christian church do.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
Uh-huh.
But find an excuse according to his will.
Yeah, man, I understand, man. Listen, man, I know that I need to stop fornicating and all that, man. But God know my heart, bro. He know I'm trying to do better.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
Uh-huh.
But find an excuse according to his will.
He's going to find an excuse every time. Every time. Because he's a sinful man. Verse 18.
A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear.
Read that again.
A man of counsel will be considerate.
He's going to be, listen, that man that understands and he sits down and weighs his options and go into this word and allow this to, you know, to be the final say on what he do. Those who are submitted and committed to the Holy Spirit, He gonna be what? He gonna be what?
A man of counsel will be
He
considered,
gonna be considerate, but who?
but a strange and proud man
But that proud man, notice we talked about that in Proverbs 16, that proud man, that proud heart,
is not daunted with fear.
he don't care. I'm gonna do whatever I feel, man. I'm living my best life out here. I don't care what you say. I'm living my best life. According to who? This is the growing pains in the truth. Because I tell you, like I said, all of the things that was innocent and okay once upon a time is you when you get to serving the Most High God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it is it's no longer acceptable. Verse 19.
Do nothing without advice.
Right?
And when thou hast once done, repent not.
Read that again.
Do nothing without advice.
Do nothing without advice.
And when thou hast once done, repent not.
Repent not. Now, Dick, let's go. Let's get out of this, man. Let's go. Where we at, man? We got an hour and 40 minutes. We're gonna bring this stuff back. We're gonna bring this out later in the year. Let's go to Ephesians 1. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1. We're gonna deal with that mental stuff. I need to get to Joseph. I want to make sure that I have enough time when I get there. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1. Most I'm gonna show. He's gonna open the door for that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 and get Isaiah 59. Okay, we're talking about tonight the growing pains of the truth. So we need to get our people prepared for what's going to be dealing with the heartaches and the struggles that you're going to be experiencing when you're trying to do what thus says the Most High. Let's go Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. Ecclesiastes, excuse me, verse 18, and get Isaiah 59, verse 12 through 15. We want to prepare them, we want to give them some strength, we want to give them some inspiration to continue to stand on this truth. Ecclesiastes 1. Yeah. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 18. Let's give them that right there.
For much wisdom is much grief. And he that increases knowledge increases sorrow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to understand that the more truth, the more understanding you gain when it comes to the Most High, it's going to bring more sorrow. Because what's going to happen is you're going to begin to look around at your people. You're going to look around at your family. You're going to look around the members of the church. You're going to look at the world as a whole, and it's going to make you really, really sad. You know, there's going to be initial enthusiasm when you first come into the truth of understanding that you're not black, that you're not African American. There's going to come a sense of relief because you realize how you've been living and you realize, you know, what you were doing. I remember when I was in college, how I was living, and you know, those years of seeking, trying to be, you know, with the Nation of Islam and doing that 5% of stuff, and then, you know, all this conscious stuff, and we black pride, you know. I tell people all the time I was doing this years ago. I was doing this in the 90s, before social media. It's not something new to me. That's the reason why when somebody come to me with this, I understand everything they're going to say. I know exactly who they're going to quote. I know exactly the words they're going to say. I know the mindset of it all. Because me and my homeboys was living in Fayetteville State University before it got cool. Before it was popping. Before social media ever existed. You understand? We already done this. So all this, what these people are talking about now, this Black Power movement, this what they call conscious movement, we were doing it then. And the books you're just reading, I already read. The ideology, all this stuff you're doing right now, the scientific mathematics, just this energy, this is what they're talking about, studying the energies and the metaphysical things. I was doing that in the 90s. Okay. I've been that road and been rescued from that road. I done spoke madness against Christ. I done spoke madness against the Most High. I done spoke madness against the Bible. Okay. I've been there. This is why I have patience with those people who are doing that. But I'm not gonna entertain foolishness. You understand? But as I was saying, you have an initial relief when you come into the trueness of Christ, because you understand fully what Christ has redeemed you from, saved you from, rescued you from. But then when that knowledge starts growing, and the Most High starts pulling off those layers, and you start looking around at your family. Some of you are in relationships, and you start looking at that boyfriend, you look at that girlfriend, some of you looking at your husband, some of you looking at your wife, you're looking at your children, you're looking at your parents, you're looking at your pastor. Some of you pastors are looking at your congregation, you're looking at your wife, and you like, man, this is bad. It's rough. See what Sue said? It's rough. What did Chanel say? Right. Right. It's the truth. Chanel, shout out the truth in there. Read that again for him, D. This is the growing pains of the truth right here. We trying to get this understanding out today.
For much wisdom,
For
much grief.
it's much grief. You're gonna have to understand that the more the Most High reveals things to you, it's gonna be much grief. You're gonna be looking around, you're gonna like, man, my people are doomed. Because not only do they not know, many of our people don't care to know. Me and Deke was talking earlier. We was talking about how it seemed that people every Sabbath is surprised about what we do on every Sabbath. And Deke made the statement, which was profound. He said, I think they're more surprised that we're still doing it. Because, you know how our people is, our people get into fads and they be, doing this one thing and then all of a sudden, you're on something else. And we've been in this truth for 5 years. And so I think that's the fact that people are surprised that we haven't been it. We're growing in the truth every day from Sabbath to Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? So what's the last part of that verse, D?
And he that increases knowledge.
But he that increases knowledge
increases sorrow.
Increases sorrows. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And that's one of the growing pains of the truth. But see, what we need you to do today is that you don't use that sorrow to be sad. You use that sorrow as motivation. It's to begin to do that eternal change. Not so much pointing fingers. That's why we went to Isaiah 58. Because the Most High don't want us pointing fingers. He wants us to be looking at us. He wants us to be fasting and dedicating and committing ourselves for the betterment of our nation. That's why we did last week, the rebirth of a nation. And now, as I was talking to my people today, I told them, I said, listen, as going into this Passover, this first feast of the year, we need to spend this week before the Sabbath coming up doing eternal self-examination. Because when we go there, when Friday night comes, and we go into that Passover, you need to go in there with a mindset of worship, a mindset of being bowed down, and knowing that you're in the right standing with the Most High, so you could worship him in spirit and in truth. Now let's go to Isaiah 59. Watch this. This is another aspect of it. There's another aspect that you need to see. Isaiah 59. You understand? Isaiah 59. And let's give him verse 12 through 15. Watch this.
For our transgressions are multiplied before thee,
Uh-huh.
and our sins testify against us.
You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the sense of our community is before the Most High. I keep trying to get people to understand this. That I don't care what the Christian church is telling you. You're not black. You're not an African American. They give them Amos 3. I mentioned and quoted it earlier, but let me give them that. Never get them Amos 3, verses 1 through 3 right quick. So they can understand this. Amos 3, verse 1 through 3.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, children of Israel.
Against the whole family I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you acknowledge or receive. You are not black. You are not an African American. You are from the tribe of Judah, from the nation of Israel. And that's the eyes that the Most High seen you through. No matter what you call yourself. Verse 2.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Read that again.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Regardless of what they say in Christianity. The Most High has only dealt with the children of Israel, according to Psalms 147, verse 19 through 20. You only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore,
I will punish you for all your iniquities.
He's going to punish us. We're going to be held accountable for breaking the Most High's law. You can let the Gentiles tell you what you want. They want to on Daystar on TBN. You can let your pastor. You can let your mama. You can let yourself tell you what you want to hear. Verse 2. Read it again.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Verse 3.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Unless you agree with the Most High, you ain't walking with the Most High. Unless you agree with him by keeping his law, statute, commandments, you are not in agreement with the Most High. Now let's go back to Isaiah 59. I need to bring that out so you can see what we're saying here in Isaiah 59. Read this verse 12 again, D. It says what?
For our transgressions are multiplied before thee.
Right.
And our sins testify against us.
That's what's testifying. That's the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, our communities look the way they look. That's what's going forth to the throne. The way we're living. What you're seeing on these so-called reality TVs shows of our people. What you're seeing on our so-called these rap music and all this stuff. What you're seeing going on behind closed doors in these families and the madness and the wickedness that's going on in these Christian churches. It's ever before the Most High. What else?
For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them.
And we know them. That's the sad thing about it is that the Most High has been waking up his children all over the earth. There's an Israelite in the major cities of America on every Sabbath, bringing it out. We're here every Sabbath, bringing it out. And many of our Christian brothers and sisters hearing it, and it's going in one ear right out the other. Because they think they're safe and they think they're comfortable. Give them Amos 9 and 10. They know it. We got brothers and sisters in the Christian church that don't know no better. We got brothers and sisters in the world who don't know no better. But there's a lot of people who can't claim that. They think they're safe. Amos 9 and 10.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
And see, when you hear that, some of you may say, like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. No, it may not happen to you, but it's going to happen to your descendants if you don't change. Because it's coming. Jacob's trouble on the rise. You keep wanting to call it racism and oppression, all these little westernized terms that they're giving you. No, it's called Jacob's trouble, according to Jeremiah the 30th chapter. You think we down in the streets now? You think they got our brothers and sisters down in Mexico in those cases now? You ain't seen nothing yet. If you're still here in this country, walk around calling yourself black and African American, when that wall get up, you're going to see how America really sees you. It's going to be crystal clear then. There's going to be no turning back. Read it again, Deacon. It says what?
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
And what they going to be saying, Deacon, in Christian churches?
The evil shall not overtake.
We ain't got to worry about it. And what else?
Nor prevent us.
Hey, we good. Jesus is going to work it out. And you're going to die by the sword. With that white picture in your hand, going down, bleeding out. And I'm not trying to be funny. But I'm trying to get you to understand. This is real life out here. Every day, somebody's getting killed, lynched, hang, and we just keep kidnap, organs taken out of their body, sent out to a sex trade overseas, and you keep saying, man, it's just happening because we're black. Are you out of your mind? You think the color of your skin is just that bad of a problem? Then why ain't it happening to the Africans? Except in certain areas. As soon as they killed Muammar Gaddafi, every so-called person that looked like you started going right back into slavery. I wonder why. Every day, one of us would get killed on the streets, thrown into a prison, and you keep sitting around saying, hey, America loves us. We just need some more representation. We need more education. We need to vote. How's that working out for us? Back to Isaiah 59. So we know them, verse 13.
In transgression and lying against the Lord.
Read that again.
In transgression and lying against the Lord.
Hey man, the law done away with, bro.
In transgression and lying against the Lord.
Oh, bro, he don't care, man. He don't worry about that. He know your heart.
In transgressing and lying against the Lord. And departing away from our God.
Right.
Speaking oppression and revolt.
Speaking oppression and revolt. Let's go protest. Let's go put on a Black Lives Matter shirt. Let's go let our voice be heard at the voting polls. Speaking oppression and revolt. Let's go start a group on social media and let's hashtag this, hashtag that. Let's go do a boycott. Let's march on Washington. Let's march on the Capitol. Let's get us some signs and go stand out in front of the police department. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Pow. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Pow. When are you going to realize that it don't matter to them? When are you going to realize? Read it again, Deke. He says what?
In transgressing and lying against the Lord. And departing away from our God.
And then our Christian pastors is the one leading the charge. Every Sunday coming with the philosophical message. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, see, once we get that education, I'm telling you young people, you go off to college, you get your education, well, you're going to make a difference in your community. All of us went to college. All of us went off. And the only thing we got was debt. Education is nothing but more brainwashing. And for you to learn that your God ain't real. That's the only thing they're telling you. Verse 14. Go ahead. Read it again. Start from the beginning.
In transgression and lying against the Lord. And departing away from our God. Speaking oppression and revolt.
That's right.
Conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood.
Words of falsehoods, madness, straight lies. Everything gonna be all right. We shall overcome. When? Verse 14.
And judgment is turned away back. And justice standeth fall. For truth is fallen in the street and equally cannot enter.
Can't even enter. The Most High can't even get in there because everything, the truth, it just went to waste. The true churches, the true pastors are losing everything for the mega pastor and the mega church. For him to gas the people up every Sunday and you to give them every dime you got for hope. For hope. The pastor and his wife then gave his entire life to serve the community. You won't give him a dime out of your pocket. But some guy that's walking around in a fancy suit and some tight skinny jeans, you're just going to tell him, hey, that guy knows something, boy. He knows something. And don't let him have a doctor in front of his name or MIV behind it. Oh boy, that guy knows something. Yeah, madness. Verse 15.
Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
Man, read that again.
Yea, truth faileth. He that departed from evil maketh himself a prey.
This is one of the growing pains of the truth. Because he who depart away from truth, depart away from evil, has become an enemy to the people. I hear story after story after story of women living reckless and wild, going to prison, having babies after babies, getting to the truth, start putting on clothes, wrapping their hair, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and they're getting shunned by their families. Story after story of men who are living life of crime, not taking care of their children, beating their wives, on drugs, on alcoholics, doing all this madness, going in and out of prison, find the truth that they're not black, they're not African American, start keeping the holy days, stop eating pork, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and now all of a sudden the family don't want to have nothing to do with them. You become an enemy to your own people when you truly stand with the Most High. That's the growing pains of the truth. And if you allow that deter you, you're going to have a problem. I'm going to tell you that straight out the gate. There's going to be a problem. If you can't handle that aspect of it, that's going to be a problem. You're going to be hated. We're going to get to that in a minute. As a matter of fact, let's go through that, D. Let's go to let's go there now. Let's go to Matthew 10. I need you to hold that. And let's get Romans Slakia. Let's get Ephesians 6. See what y'all said. Let's get Matthew 10 and Ephesians 6. Get that ready. Yeah. And that's the truth, y'all. That's actually the truth. Because I'm telling you right now, listen, when I was out there clubbing, fornicating, doing everything that I was doing, hey, I was highly loved and respected. Nobody had anything bad to say about El did. When El was coming in with the O's and with the half gallons and the 24 cases, everybody was looking forward to El. El's the life of the party. Nobody sat me down and said, yo, El, you tripping. Nobody said, yo, man, you need to change. Nobody need to say that. But when I start keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, all of a sudden now, when they see El coming, they turn the other way. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden now, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't really know about that guy. That's the way it goes. This is the growing pains of the truth. You understand? Well, let me show you. Let's go to Matthew 10. And these people, and people call themselves Christians, right? Well, let me see if Christians can relate to what Christ is talking about here. Okay. Let's go to the Master. Let's go to the Lord and Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach, who the word known to be Jesus Christ. And let me see if you can relate to this. I bet Israelites can. Matthew 10. Let's start there at verse 22.
And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Read that again.
And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Now, how many of you that call yourself Christians, how many of you being hated? I ain't talking about this hated on stuff that they talking about in the church where everybody hating them. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that everywhere you go, people looking at you with the side eye. It's happened to us. Every time we come out with our fringes on, every time we come up on the Sabbath, every time we have a conversation amongst family and friends, and they talking about doing something, and people don't want to, we don't want to do it. Yeah, that's when you're seeing it. That's when it's saying. I ain't talking about this. They hating on me because I'm getting money. I ain't talking about that madness. We ain't got nothing to do with that. They hating on me because I'm beautiful. I ain't talking about that. They hating on me because of my swag. I ain't talking about that. Read it again, Deke. He says what?
And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endured to the end shall be saved.
But if you endure, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of this, of all this that's going on, these growing pains that you're dealing with, you shall be saved. Watch this, verse 23.
When they persecute you in this city flee ye into another.
Right.
For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the city of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
Read that again.
But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
Now, why did the Jewish people go back into Israel in 1948 if Christ said out of his own mouth that you won't go back to Israel until I come? I bet they won't read that verse on TV and the Daystar when they bring out these Jewish guys. I bet they won't read that verse straight out of the word of mouth, the word of Christ's mouth. Straight out of the mouth of Christ. He said it plainly. You won't come back into Israel until I come. Whole Judeo-Christianity destroyed, crumbled. One verse. Just saying. I don't think we need to go on. I think we can stop the lesson right there. But you know we're not. So the next time somebody comes to you with that message, I don't care what you say, the Jewish people, the people, you read that verse for them. What happened in 1948 is not of the Most High. Verse 24.
The disciple is not above his master,
Right?
nor the servant above his Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master,
Right?
and the servant as his Lord.
Right?
If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household?
And what Yeshua is talking about here is in Mark the 4th chapter, verse 22. Because when Yeshua was casting out the demons out of the people, they was calling him saying, man, he ain't doing that through the Most High, he doing that to Satan. He's Beelzebub. So he said, listen, if they call it me Beelzebub, what do you think they're gonna call you? That's why he said the disciple's not above his master. So you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that when you're serving the true Christ, the true Yeshua HaMashiach, people are not going to rock with you. Being a Christian is easy. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it's easy. All you got to do is just say, yeah, I believe in Jesus, celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, stamp, Christian. It don't work that way for being an Israelite. And this is why you hate it. This is the growing pains. And he's telling you right here, he said, listen, if they did this to me, what do you think they're going to do to you? This is why they're walking away. This is why they don't want to talk to you. This is why everything that come out your mouth, people are going to have an issue with you. You're judging me, you're attacking me, and you only speaking truth. Because that's the same thing happened to Christ. Watch this. Verse 26.
Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed,
Right?
and hid that shall not be known.
He said, listen, it's okay. They doing you dirty. They talking against you. They trying to sabotage you. They scandalizing your name, they say in the church. Everything is going to come out. It don't matter. I know I'm seeing it all. Watch this. Verse 27.
What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light.
Right?
And what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetop.
He said, listen. This is why he told him in Matthew the 5th chapter. He says, listen, you are the light of the world. A man don't take a candlestick and take it and hide it up on the table. You got to let that light shine so that it brings light to everything around you. And this is why I'm talking about these closet Israelites who want to be Israelites over here in the corner when you got a brew over here, but on social media, you just a regular Christian. You want to be Israelites over here when it come time for, a good post here or a meme get posted, but when Easter come around, you're going to be right there at that church on Sunday morning. You know you is. He says, what I tell you in darkness, you bring it out. What you hear from me, from the Holy Spirit, you speak from the mountaintops. You don't turn down for nobody, even though it's going to be bad for you. You understand? Watch this. Watch this, verse 28.
And fear not them which kill the body,
Right?
but are not able to kill the soul,
Uh-huh.
but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
He said, listen, some of you, and I think the Most High, that many of you are not going to have to deal with this. But people like will do what me and Jay do. We understand that we may have to. We took that on, and we accepted that challenge and that mandate years ago. You know, when I don't share this with a lot of people, but I'll put this out here. When I started preaching this truth, I started getting, you understand, messages, little encrypted messages from people on YouTube. You understand? Kind of like warning things, like saying like, whatever. You understand? When the person that I was involved with during the time when I came into the truth, tried to discourage me from coming out with this because of what is happening to people who stand with this truth. I knew then that person didn't understand what it was about. You know what I'm saying? I don't share these things, but I'm putting this out here today for many of you that you don't need to be feared what somebody could do to you. You can't be worried about fearing about somebody taking your job, fearing about somebody misrepresenting your name, fearing if somebody tried to bring harm to you. I've accepted that. And I thank the Most High that He put somebody in my life that knows that and keeps me covered in prayer. But they're gonna have to kill me. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna stop. I accepted that. You understand? And like I said, many of you, this is not gonna be your path. You're gonna raise your families. You're gonna raise your children. It's time you're gonna get up out of this country. You're gonna join the people as we head our way back east. But for some of us, we may have to die for this. This is the growing pains of the truth, accepting that. It is what it is. You understand? And I'm not telling you to go out and make yourself a martyr. I'm not telling you to go do something, the wild mess, because if you go do something the Most High told you to do, you're finished. Okay, I want to make that clear. But read it again for him. Listen to what he said. He says what?
And fear not them which kill the body.
Fear not them that can kill the body.
But not able to kill the soul.
Right.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body
and that's
in hell.
That's right. That's the Most High. So the only person that I fear disappointing and displeasing is the Most High. They can do whatever they want to. I'm in the firm belief right now they can shoot me up. They can try to poison me. It doesn't matter. Because the same thing they tried to do Paul, he survived every one of them. He didn't die until it was time. If I got to die on this thing, I'm willing to do it. For the rebirth of my nation, I'm willing to die for it. For my people to be awakened, I'm willing to die for it. And I'm not sitting here giving you no good, you know what I'm saying, just talking reckless. I'm just telling you the real. Shabbat shalom, Art. Good seeing you on tonight, bro. That's just what it is. That's the only person that I fear displeasing. Simple as that. Verse 29.
Are not two sparrows sold for a farthing?
Right.
And one of them shall not fall on the ground with your father. Without your father.
Right.
Well, the very hairs of your head are all numbered.
Right.
Fear ye not, therefore, ye are more valued than many sparrows.
He said, listen, the Most High is out here taking care of the birds. The birds don't happen to them unless the Most High says for it to happen to. He said, listen, the Most High know every hair on your head. You are way important to him than any animal, any other creature on this earth. You're valuable. You mean more to him than everything. Deuteronomy 7:6 says you are a special nation above all nations. You are the Zechariah 12 says you. Zechariah 2 says you are the apple of the Most High's eye. You understand? Be mindful of it always. Verse 32.
Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father,
Right.
which is in heaven.
Uh-huh.
But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father, which is in heaven.
I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking right now to my Christian brothers and sisters. You keep denying who you are. You keep denying the true Christ. You keep denying the truth of this gospel. You're going to be finished. They're going to scream your name. You're going to be popular amongst the Christian church, but you're going to die in hell. Because Yeshua HaMashiach standing for you is all that's going to matter when you stand before Christ. I'm talking to my pastors right now. If you refuse to stand on this truth, you're going to be doomed to hell. Because not only did you refuse it, but you refuse to give it to others. If you don't, I'm talking about the Christ of this Bible. I'm not talking about that white Jesus and for no Christianity. That is not the man. I'm talking about Yeshua HaMashiach of the Bible. That's the one and the only one you must confess. And that is the only one that can confess you before the Most High. Watch this. That's it. That's it on that. Let's go to Ephesians 6. Tonight's lesson is entitled, The Growing Pains in the Truth. Matter of fact, D, let's don't worry. Give them Ephesians 6. Just put that in the box. That's in the box. I want y'all to have, that's your Sabbath lesson for tomorrow. That's your Sabbath reading for tomorrow. Yeah, you put it in there. We're not gonna go to Ephesians 6. We're gonna get into some wisdom scriptures. I need to get this wisdom to y'all tonight. Let's go to the wisdom scriptures. Let's go back to the Apocrypha. Let's go back to the Apocrypha. For those who just coming on who don't have an Apocrypha, go to your separate laptop, tablet, or phone. And I want you to Google. Go ahead and put all those Sirach verses in there for them. So for those who didn't get those verses, it's Ephesians 6, verse 10 through 20. And I want you to read that for the Sabbath tomorrow. But I want to get into these wisdom scriptures for you tonight. It's very important that we do that. Matter of fact, D, I need Ephesians Sirach 2 first. We're not going to go into Joseph tonight either. I want to go to Sirach 2. We're going to end on Galatians 5 tonight. We need some wisdom. Let's go to Sirach 2 first. We need to give our people some wisdom on how to deal with these things that they're going to be experiencing. The growing pains. Let's start on Sirach 2. So y'all, let's go to Sirach 2 first. Then we're going to go to Sirach 5. The Most High saying we need wisdom tonight to be able to apply to those different things that we have to deal with in life. Let's go to Sirach 2. And let's start there, verse 1.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Read that again.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
When you come to serve the Most High, you got to do what?
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
You're going to have to prepare your soul for temptation. And this is not talking about those necessary temptation to sin. This is mostly talking about the temptation to going back into the things of the old man, the way you used to think, the way you used to operate, the way you used to carry out things, the things that you deemed important, the traditions of your family and your church and your community. You got to prepare your soul for temptation, because when it comes time each year, when it comes from different holiday to the next, many of you are going to be standing on an island by yourself. It's like last week, this Saturday when the sun went down. For those in the truth knew that March night sundown was the beginning of our new year. I know many of you were laughed at. I know you were, because we were laughed at. Okay, but that didn't stop us going forth and coming on social media to encourage our people. Right? So we got the Passover next week. But then next month, you're going to have Easter. And many of you are going to be tempted to go to the sunrise service. You're going to be tempted to take your children to the Easter egg hunt. You're going to be tempted, you understand, to participate and that that gathering. It's gonna be tempting. Because everybody you know is gonna be there. Read it again for him, Dick. It says what?
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
And when you come to serve the Most High, verse 2,
set thy heart aright.
You're gonna have to set your heart aright. What else?
And constantly endure.
Constantly endure. Knowing, ladies and gentlemen, this is not gonna be a one-time thing here. It's gonna have to be a constant thing here. Give them James 1. Watch this. You're gonna have to constantly endure. Y'all, I'm telling y'all right now, this is not in our lesson tonight. This is not in our plans tonight. The Most High is just going a whole different direction. I'm just following the spirit right now, so y'all gonna have to be patient with me. I'm just following the spirit here. Watch this. Before you read James 1 and 1, I want you to read Sirach 2 and 2 again for him. Watch this.
Set thy heart aright.
Set thy heart aright.
And constantly endure.
And constantly endure.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And make not haste in time of trouble. Now, this is your precept for this right here. James 1, give him words 1 through 5. Watch this.
James, the servant of God, the Lord Yeshua the Christ, to the 12 tribes.
To the who?
To the 12 tribes.
To the Baptist Church.
To the 12 tribes.
To the Gentiles.
To the 12 tribes.
To the Catholics.
To the 12 tribes. Which are scattered abroad.
Right.
Greetings.
Greetings.
My brethren, count our joy when ye fall into diverse temptations.
So James is saying here, look at it. This Sirach is to the Israelites. Yet a chapter, a book in the New Testament is written to who? The Israelites. That's the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching things on TBN and Daystar, and when your pastors who are going to these theological schools, when they go to James 1, they never start at verse 1. Because if they read that verse 1, they're going to have to answer some questions, and they don't want to answer it. So notice that Sirach is telling them, saying, listen, prepare your soul for temptation. But James says to the Israelites, verse 2, let's read that again, he says what?
My brethren, count it all joy.
Count it all joy.
When you fall into diverse temptations.
When you come to diverse temptations. So he telling you Sirach is telling you to prepare for the temptations. Yet James is saying, count it all joy. Why? Verse 3.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
It worketh patience, and what else?
But let patience have her perfect work.
Let patience have its perfect work. Why?
That you may be perfect.
Mature. That word perfect, that means mature.
And entire, wanting nothing.
Wanting nothing. Because what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you find yourself in these situations, when you want to go back and do the old thing, and you look at it as an opportunity to grow in the Most High, the next time the problem comes, it's going to be easier. And the next problem comes, it's going to be easier. And the next problem comes, it's going to be easier. To the point when you're going to see the devil coming a mile away. But in order to get to that point, you got to go through what? The growing pains in the truth. How do you survive the growing pains of the truth? Verse 4. Verse 5.
If any of you lack wisdom.
So when you come to a situation, right, and you don't know what to do, you do what?
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God.
Let him ask the Most High.
That giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not.
Right.
It shall be given to him.
You see that? So then when you don't understand the situation, you ask the Most High how to do it. Did not go to Proverbs 3. Watch this. Now go to Proverbs 3, verse 5. So you say, what situations do I supposed to ask the Most High? Is there certain situations or is there all situations? Let's see. Proverbs 3, verse 5.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart.
And lean not unto thy own understanding.
And lean not to your own understanding.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
Hold on, you said what?
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
No, that's when I'm sick.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
Not when my education plays a part.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
Not when common sense is gonna make sense.
In all thy ways acknowledge him. And he shall direct thy path.
And he shall direct your path in all your ways. This is how you survive the growing pains in truth. That's sweet. Now let's go back to Sirach. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted in chapter 2. For the sake of time, I wanted to give you that. Now let's go over to Sirach 5. Watch this. Let's go over to Sirach 5. Because if I get in that Sirach 2, I'll get bored down. I just wanted to give you the Most High said we need to give you that. Let's go over to chapter 5 now. Let's give you some new stuff here. Sirach 5, and let's start at verse 1.
Set not thy heart upon thy good,
Uh-huh.
and say not, I have enough for my life.
Now, this is one of the things, right? This is one of the issues. This is a complex situation here. Now, Sirach is saying, listen. Now, you know, you see Paul says in Philippians, the 4th chapter, he says, you know, always be content, which you should be. It's not about bringing in a whole bunch of things. But read that for me again, what Sirach is saying here.
Set not thy heart upon thy good,
Right?
and say not, I have enough for my life.
Because see, what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is that many times when you have a good job and you have a decent bank account and you have acquired certain things that your goals that you set out, house, certain cars, right amount of clothes, life insurance, health insurance, the kids got certain things. One of the things that happens for many of us is we get comfortable, right? And when you get comfortable, you say, man, you know what? The Most High bless me. And then we start saying Christian soliloquies like, if the Lord don't do another thing for me, he done enough. And that sounds real good and innocent, right? That sounds a righteous statement. But what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is when you develop that mindset, what happens is you start seeking the Most High. And your dependability and your faith will go from the Most High into your stuff. You see that? So that's what happens when you start saying, man, I got enough, man. I'm doing all right now. I'm pretty steady. Because many of you right now are working on a job when the Most High is really calling you to start a business. And you won't think to start that business and to quit that job because of the fact that you're safe. You got your 401k popping off. You got a good savings account going on. You got your benefits. You got the health insurance there. And the Most High has been speaking to you quietly like, yeah, it's time to start that business, I told you. Or it's time to start that ministry, which is going to require you from stepping away from your resource. You're like, oh, man, oh, look, I know that ain't the Lord. But it is. This is the growing pains of the truth. When you're going to have to know the difference between the force of the Most High and your own voice inside. You understand? Watch this, verse 2.
Follow not thy own mind and thy strength.
You see that? Read it again. Dick says what?
Follow not thy own mind
Uh-huh.
and thy strength to walk the ways of thy heart.
Uh-huh.
And say not, who shall control me from my work?
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
You see that? You see that? This is the growing pains of the truth. Because, see, when you was in the Christian church, many of you equated your money and your success as the blessing of the Lord. Not knowing that really that was just the fruit of a capitalist society. Right? And over in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, what we was in before, I didn't want to stay there because I know I would have got bogged down. It says something, it says up to the sense of, you know, lose not patience or don't be sad when the Most High brings you to a low state. Because what happens a lot of times, especially according to the Christianity doctrine, if you're losing things, that means you're sinning or you're outside of the will of the Most High. Listen, in 2009, when the Most High ordained me and told me that he was calling me to be more, and it was time for me to leave Anson County, I was making $40-some thousand a year. I was engaged to be married. I was about to purchase a house, and I was up for a new raise in a new position, which is going to bring me more money. The Most High said, okay, I need you to move to Winston. No job opportunity, not knowing where I was going to stay, not knowing what was going to be up there. You know what happened on that road to that between 2008 2009? Woman left, job left, got sick, lost everything. But yet I was in the will of the Most High. But in it, you say, hold up now. This can't be the will of the Most High. Read that again for him, Deep. Start back to verse 2. He says what?
Follow not thy own mind in thy strength to
Mm-hmm.
walk in the ways of thy heart.
Mm-hmm.
And say not, who shall control me for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge thy
The
pride.
Most High gonna come against that pride, yo. Because you're so caught up in what you're doing, you thinking it's all about you. That's how the Most High is gonna come in and say, "Hold on, let me show you who really running the show here." Watch this, verse 4.
Say not, I have sinned, and what harm has happened unto me?
Uh-huh.
For the Lord is long suffering, he will in no wise let thee go.
See what happened? Here you go. That's that growing pains of the truth. Because when you're in the Christian church, they telling you the whole time, you're in the grace. God knows your heart. Read it again, D. He says what?
Say not, I have sinned, and what harm has happened unto me?
Hey man, I'm straight, man. I'm straight. The most I know, man, listen, I know I've been fornicating for the last 6 months. I know I just had this baby out of wedlock, but God know my heart. I'm going to church. I'm paying my tithes. I'm singing on the choir. I'm preaching. I'm ushering. God know my heart because what?
For the Lord is long suffering.
He's long suffering and he gives you opportunity. And what?
He will in no wise let thee go.
But he ain't letting the sin ride. And many of you, along the long time you was in that Christian church, your whole life was falling apart. And you didn't even know that it was you that's doing it. You were blaming it on the devil. The devil sure is busy. No, it was you. I'm on attack. Yeah, you. You understand? You're your own worst enemy. But if you call and playing that grace card every time, you will never hold yourself accountable. Because the church ain't, pastor ain't, you ain't, but the Most High is. You see that? It's the growing pains of the truth. Watch this. Verse 6. Oh, excuse me, verse 5.
Concerning propitiation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
And he said, listen, you better be careful. Because see, not only is you fornicating, but you're lying. Because let me deal with my dudes right now. Because you're lying, because you got this girl over here, and you got this girl over here, and you got this girl thinking you're in a relationship, and you got this man thinking you're in a relationship, ladies. Because you know, ladies, let me deal with y'all for a second. You know, you ladies, y'all got 5 to 6 men. You may not be having sex with all 5 to 6 men, but most of you that ain't married, you got 5 to 6 men. You got the checkbook, you got Mr. Fixer, you got Mr. Listener, you got Mandingo, you know what his job is, I won't profane the Sabbath, and you got the husband material, okay? You got 5 men. The guy with a checkbook that's writing and paying the bills. You got the guy that's come and fix your car, that can fix stuff around the house, that fix your pipes and you know, fix things that are broken with your kids. You got Mandingo. You got the guy that's gonna sit on the phone and listen, Mr. Friend Zone, thinking he's straight. And you got the guy that you really love. Piling sin upon sin. Because the guy that you like, the guy that's writing the checks, you just gotta go. You probably don't. Most of the time, you don't even have to. No, I'm not even going to. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to profane the Sabbath. You understand? And then the guys over here, you're lying on your job, lying on your resume. Got this woman thinking that you're faithful to him, her. Got this side chick over here that's doing anything you want, piling sin on sin. Yet going to church every Sunday. Saying high five to grace. You understand? Watch this. Verse 6.
And say not, his mercy is great.
But the Most High is great. His mercy endures forever. Watch this.
He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins.
Uh-huh.
For mercy and wrath come from him.
He says what?
For mercy and wrath come from him.
For mercy and wrath come from the Most High. And what else?
And his indignation resteth upon sinners.
I'm still looking for that Bible verse, ladies and gentlemen, that said God loved the sinner but hate the sin. Nobody has shown me that verse yet. But we're going to show you something in a minute. Watch this. Verse 7.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day.
Lord, I'm going to get it right. I know I need to get it right. I'm gonna get it right, Jay. I know I've been lying. I lie on my taxes every year. I've been claiming kids that ain't mine. But God know my heart, and I pay my tithes off my taxes, so it's straight. Read it again.
Make no tarry to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day.
Listen, man, I know that, you know what I'm saying, that I need to start committing adultery on my wife, man, but you understand. But, you know, this girl, you know, she was there for me when my wife wasn't feeling me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, she been there for me, and that's why every Tuesdays and every Sundays, I'm there with her. Read it again.
Make no tarry to turn to the Lord and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth.
From when?
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
And what?
In thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
In that what?
In thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
And in the security of your grace, you shall be destroyed. What?
And perish in the day of vengeance.
And perish in the day of vengeance. Many of our brothers and sisters is in prison right now. And unfortunately, many of our brothers and sisters is in the cemetery right now. Had the voice of the Lord coming to them, people sending it to them, and they kept saying, I know I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it right. I know. And then suddenly, okay, because that grace period, ladies and gentlemen, going to run out. Telling you, man, once saved, always saved. Show me that verse. It ain't in there. This is the growing pains of the truth. Watch this. Verse 8.
Set not thy heart upon the goods of justly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. Proverbs 13:11 says, the wealth gained by vanity shall diminish. And many of you out here, you getting these hustles, you lying, you conning people, you getting this money, and you think it's gonna be good, and I can go take a trip, and I can do this, and I can buy that, and I can boast this, and I can cop that. But I'm telling you, when your situation really get thick, that money gonna be gone. It's not gonna be there. I'm telling you. This is the growing pains of the truth. When things that was considered innocent and little white lies and not so bad and it's okay, this is not acceptable with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand? Watch this. Verse 9.
We're now not with every wind.
That word "we're now" means being blown to and fro with every wind.
And go not into every way. For so doeth the sinner.
For so do who?
For so doth the sinner that has a double tongue.
Listen, I tell my people all the time, you need to find you one elder and you need to sit and learn. Stop going from video to video, elder to elder, church to church, camp to camp. Get with one people, serve that leader, serve that church, serve the Most High. Because what's happening is many of you, because you don't want to hear nothing, so every time, and you see this going on in the Christian church. When the pastor come in and tell them the truth, all of a sudden now, man, I don't know about that. And then now you're going to go to another church. And so they start stepping on your toes, then, I'm going over here. Can't live like that with the Most High. Can't do that. Verse 10.
Be steadfast in our understanding. Let thy word be the same. Be swift to hear, let thy life be sincere.
Right.
And with patience give answer. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Read that again.
Be swift to hear and let thy life be sincere.
Be swift to hear and let your life be sincere. Stop worried about being an Israelite on Facebook. Okay? Stop just worried about liking every post and liking everything. You know what I found out back in the day, when we used to talk about this, when we was doing liberation all the time. The people who was liking and joining the event page were never the people at the event. It was hilarious to us. We would go out and buy all this food and all these resources for these people and thinking that there was going to be this certain amount of people. And then the people who actually showed up to the event was not the ones who was on the event page and sharing it on Facebook and stuff. Because some people just want to be a part of something that deem some type of prestige and props to them. So because they saw the work, they saw the videos, they saw the works that the Most High was doing there. People were like, oh yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, that's my man's. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, I'll be rocking with him. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going. I'm all up in there. Beat me there. And then when you get there, you don't see him. Whew, gone. It's crazy. It's madness. Read it again. He says what?
Be swift to hear.
Be swift to hear.
And let the life be sincere.
Uh-huh.
And with patience.
And with patience.
Give answer. If thou is understanding, answer thy neighbor.
But if you got understanding, answer thy neighbor. But what?
If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Put the This is the growing pains of the truth. Because, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes your best answer is, I don't know. You can't always try to be worried about saying, I'm right. Just say, I don't know. You understand? That's why James 3:1 says, be not many masters, because you're going to reach the greatest damnation. If you don't know something, just say, I don't know. Sometimes that's the best answer you can give. Let's go to chapter 6. Let's go to chapter 6. Let's go to, let's start at verse 1.
Instead of a friend, become not an enemy. For thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that has a double tongue.
Read that first part of that again. He says what?
Instead of a friend, become not an enemy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know that when we was in the Christian church, you know, we was always talking about, you know, all the Baptists get together, all the Amdans get together. You a Christian, I'm a Christian. We love Jesus. You know, that had its place. And in the truth of us not being black, not being African American, you know what I'm saying? That we are about the upcoming and the upbringing and the development and the success of our communities. That's cool too. But everybody talking about they pro-black, pro the cause, pro the people. Listen, can't be everybody's friend. Everybody is saying I'm an Israelite, I'm in the truth, I'm a Judah. Can't be everybody's friend. Read it again, Deke. He says what?
Instead of a friend, become not an enemy.
Just don't become an enemy. Okay? Because I'm telling you, everybody ain't on the court, one accord. You know, because this is the reason. This is what's going to happen to many people. You know, some of you are so excited right now. Those ones that are new in the truth, you're so excited. So every time you out and you see somebody with fringes on, you see a shorty with a hair wrap that maybe got her fringes on, or you come across somebody on social media. And because some of you are in areas or currently dealing with this thing alone, many of you, you get so excited, and we know how that feels. You know, I remember the time we was in the skating rink and we seen a dude over there, true Jew, I holler out from across the bowling alley, Shalom, you know what I'm saying? My brother said we came on that, dap each other up. Yeah, hey, we had a shorty who was up at the little festival. Shorty came up to Deep the other day. And like, yeah, you in the true song with his friends? I was like, yeah. So, hey, we understand. But, hey, you can't just, instead of being a friend to everybody, just don't be an enemy. It's the growing pains of the truth. Because everybody ain't going to have the same mission as you. Everybody not going to have the same dedication as you. That's why 1 John 4 says, try every spirit. You understand? Because I'm telling you, it's no different than the people that walk around with an I'm a Christian t-shirt than people walking around with I'm an Israelite. Because I'm telling you, everybody ain't about that life. I got cats I know, they all hard on social media. Them dudes ain't they don't honor the Sabbath. They don't keep no holy days. They still fornicating. They still cheat on their wives. They still lying. They still hustling. Some of them still selling drugs. Some of them still alcoholics. But I tell you right now, You know what I'm saying? Barakathar Kwam Yasharala. When you see him, Shalom. When you see him, hey man, my brother say all the time, I'm cool on that face, Shalom. I'm cool on that. I'm telling you, you got shorty right now, walking around, hair wrap, looking all, I'm telling you, talking all big. You go down that news feed. Whoa. Wow. Can't believe it. The pictures that they're posting, the comments, the conversations that they're having. My sister-in-law was telling me the other day about being in an Israelite women group. The madness that's going on in there, like straight madness. Okay? So read it again for him, Dick. He says what?
Instead of a friend, become not an enemy.
Just don't become an enemy. Let's go to verse 2.
Extol thyself in the counsel of thy own heart. That thy soul be not turned in pieces. Torn in pieces as a wool string alone.
So listen, man. In other words, stop gassing your own self up. Let me just put it in street terms. Stop gassing your own self up. Okay? No, little G. You know what I'm saying? Stop gassing yourself up. Listen, many of you right now are alone and by yourself, by your own doing. You came into the truth. You started showing up at every family function with a book bag full of books, walking in, sitting there with the ice grill on, you know what I'm saying? Being disrespectful to your grandparents, being disrespectful to your parents, sitting around every time somebody eat a ham sandwich, you trying to slap it out their hand, you know what I'm saying? You gassing yourself up, thinking you super righteous, and now you out there like you said, like a bull spraying about yourself. Because everybody you done tried to come in your life, you done ran away, trying to be truth, trying to be real. And you're running everything away. Look at what he said in verse 3. Verse 4. It's like in verse 3.
Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree.
Every option, every resource, every connection that you had that will be a blessing to your life, you're going to destroy trying to be real. And then what Dave Chappelle said, when keeping it real goes wrong. This is the growing pains in the truth right now we're talking about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is the growing pains. You ain't got nothing good to say about nobody. Every Christian, every brother and sister that you got in the Christian church, now you ain't got nothing good to say about them. Every day you're on social media coming at them. Every day. Against every Gentile you know, talking junk to your boss, you get fired. Man, I'm telling you, to eat them just this. No, that's you. That's you. This is the growing pains in the truth. You're going to have to realize that you're going to have to be humble. You got to use wisdom. That's why we focus on these wisdom scriptures tonight. We put aside everything that we plan on doing tonight. We sticking to this wisdom right here. We let some rock speak to the people tonight. Watch this. Verse 5, verse 4.
A wicked soul shall destroy him that has it.
Read that again.
A wicked soul shall destroy him that has it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies.
That's what's going on right now. That's what's going on right now. Some of you right now, you ain't ate in days. And now you sitting somewhere with your family, you've been declining your family by eating pork. Now they see you right now with with some potted meat, some pork and meat, banging that junk, and you're starving. And they laughing at you. You've been on the job acting reckless. You done got fired. You done went out to the school. You done got kicked out of the school. Your colleges, you done got kicked off everywhere. Nobody want to deal with you. And now the same people that you done turned into an enemy is laughing at you. A wicked soul. Read it again. He says what?
A wicked soul shall destroy him that has it.
It's going to destroy you. It's destroying you. You think just by the initial awakening that you're an Israelite, it's fixed everything in your life. And it hasn't. It hasn't. It's just like a person starting the first day of college, acting as if you already have the degree. Going on jobs and writing on the resume, you know, I'm a freshman at UNC Charlotte. That means nothing to me, homeboy. I need the degree. And that's the same thing the Most High is saying. I don't care about you knowing the Israelite. That's great. High five. Now it's time for that eternal change. Watch this. Verse 5.
Sweet language will multiply friends,
Mm-hmm.
and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greeting.
You see that? It's the way you talk to people. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you act. You understand? Watch this. Verse 6.
Be in peace with many. Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000.
Read that again. Ladies, I'm saying this to my ladies right here. This is specifically for you. Read it again. He says what?
Be in peace with many.
Be at peace with many.
Nevertheless, but have one counselor of 1,000.
One counselor amongst 1,000, which means everybody don't need to be speaking into your life. You understand? You can be at peace with many. Dap them up, however y'all do, whatever. But there's only certain people need to be speaking to your life. How is it a girl with 4 baby daddies can speak into your life about your relationship? What does she got to tell you? How's your homeboy with 4 baby mamas, he ain't taking care of none of the kids, advising you on how you to do your wife and your children? What are we doing here? How is somebody who don't honor the Most High, who don't follow law, statutes, commandments, telling you what you deem important to you? You understand? Watch this. You got notes. What we at, D? Verse 7?
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first,
Mm-hmm.
and not hasty to credit.
Mm-hmm.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the trouble.
Man, good God Almighty, Lord have mercy. Yo, Salaki, y'all, I need 1 second, because I'm not gonna get through this if I don't stop. 1 second. 1 second. That thing only be doing that, man. So you only do that when we teach it. That's crazy.
I'm doing another today. Holy week.
That's crazy. Wow. Sorry about that, y'all. Think where we at? Let's start back to verse 7 again, yeah.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit.
Mm-hmm.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion,
right,
and will not abide in the trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we're going to have to understand is this. Everybody, somebody said praise break. Tell you what. That's funny. Listen, you gotta understand is that unfortunately in life, people, some people are users, man, and they have agendas oftentimes. And this is part of the growing pains of the truth because in this walk that we're doing right now, it can be a very lonely one. You understand? It can be a very lonely one. And oftentimes we're craving some type of interaction with people on the same level. It can allow us to let down our guard some. And I don't want you walking around, I don't want everybody walking around with the evil eye with people. That's not what I'm saying. But I see this going on a lot. And I want to talk to my ladies right here because, you know, community means a lot to women. You know, having people that you can talk to because a lot of you got, men in your life that they may love you, but they don't understand you. They're not good communicators. And so when you feel the need to talk and you feel you need to vent, you understand you want that girlfriend to be there that you can lean on. But read that verse 8 again for him, Dick. He says, what?
For some man is a friend for their own occasion.
For their own occasion.
Will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
Some of them are talking you out of your relationships. And when you find yourself by yourself in a situation, they're not gonna be there. You understand? And I'm talking to my homeboys too. I'm talking to my brothers too. Look, some of these people that are gassing you up, telling you what you need to do to your wife or do to your girl. Listen, when you find yourself on the sidewalk calling Tyrone ain't gonna answer. Because Tyrone ain't got no, most time Tyrone that's gassing you up, telling you that ain't got nowhere consistent and stable to lay his own head. Telling you what you need to say to your woman. So we got to be careful. We have to be careful that we don't allow people to use us for their agendas and we calling them a friend. Verse 9.
And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover their reproach.
And so there's also, you got to be mindful too, is that there are some people that you can do certain things with, but you can't peel back all the covers with. You can't let them know everything. And I'm going to tell you, if someone is so quick to tell you everything about their friends, their exes, their co-workers, what make you think they're not going to be quick to tell your stuff? As soon as you don't do something they want you to do, as soon as you say no, or as soon as you figure them out, they enter it out. That's 1,000. I had a situation like that. I like to use myself for example. I don't like to use other people. I was dating this girl several years ago. And when I was dating her, the time I was dating her, I felt as if she was a person that I could let into my world. And I had some things in my life that needed to be removed, that hadn't been removed. Right? But when that time of us dating ended, and she was trying to, continue it, and I was like, no, I'm going forth with what the Most High told me to do. You're not with that. So there's nothing for us to talk about. All of a sudden, she wanted to bring up some certain things and mistakenly tag someone else in the message, which I know it wasn't a mistake. I was like, wow, this is what we're doing now? But see, that was on me. for allowing that person access to my life and allowing them to see things which they shouldn't have been able to see. Because once the people who come in your life for the wrong reasons, and they're no longer part of your life, you may not see them that way, but they're going to see you as an enemy. And it's really sad, but that's just the truth. This is just growing pains of the truth. That everything that we used to do, we're going to have to do differently. Everything. You understand? Deke, let's, for a second time, let me see if I think that's all I want in there. Let's go to, let me see something right quick. See if I need to bring that out. A couple more things I need to do. Let's go down to verse 32. I need to bring that out.
My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. One
of the things, ladies and gentlemen, is that you're going to have to always allow yourself to remain teachable. And this is one of the problems that with people, especially people who've been in the church for a long time. They think they got it all down pat. And they don't feel the need to be taught again. That's why we started at the beginning of the lesson with Hebrews 5. We're saying that even though you ought to be teachers, you need to be taught again the principles of the oracles of God. And if you want to be taught, if you want to have an opportunity to learn, you can have that opportunity. But everybody don't want it. If you desire to get things, you can get it. Verse 33.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive
understanding.
Mm-hmm. If thou bow thy ear, thou shalt be wise.
If you listen, if you make yourself available, if you put yourself in opportunity, you'll hear it. You know how many times people keep telling us, yo man, y'all lessons too long, man. And you see the same people talking about how I spent the whole weekend binging on that Orange is the New Black. But you can do everything else for a long time. But anything coming with the Most High, you only got 20 minutes to give? It's very telling. It's very telling. I used to remember all the time that how people used to say, like, man, y'all services, man, I'm saying, sometimes be 2-3 hours. But you'll go to the club and be there all night. You'll be at the party all night. Because people deem entertainment and things that are titillizing to the flesh as justifiable to be in it for a long time. But you think the things of the Most High is just, you don't take all that. What kind of madness is that? What kind of logical thinking is that? That you can give things that's not going to be anything for you in the long run. You can give it all your time. But the things that come with the Most High, like, man, hey, I only got a certain amount of time. I'm a busy person. Read it again, Deke. He says what?
Thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
Mm-hmm.
If thou bow thy ear, thou shalt be wise.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, when you're dealing with Brews, we're dealing with Israelites, you're not going to get 20 minute sermons. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Okay? Because the Most High wants his word taught differently than you see in the Christian church. We're not going to come here and drop no philosophy. We're not going to give you opinions. We're going to be precept upon precept, line upon line. Because that way you won't never be in an opinion. Now, I can't speak on other elders, but I know that what we do here, and I know the elders that I deem as elders and the people that I respect, that's the way they teach. The Bible teaches itself. I don't have to say anything. All we got to do is just give you the scriptures. You understand? So you got to have to, that's one of the growing pains of the truth, is you're going to have to dedicate these times to the Most High. And one of the things that we talk about is that many of you are not used to doing this on a Sabbath. This Friday sundown, Saturday sundown is the time that the Most High says is my time. So we give you these lessons, these extended lessons, so you can be accustomed to spending at least 2, 3, maybe 4 hours with the Most High on his Sabbath. It's your reasonable service. According to Romans 12, 1 and 2. It's your reasonable service. You understand? Verse 34.
Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise.
Right?
Be willing to hear every godly discourse,
Mm-hmm.
and let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
When the Most High word is coming forth, you need to make sure you get all understanding, as much understanding as possible. Okay? And if you don't understand something, that's why we tell you at the end of every lesson, if anybody need any more clarification and understanding, hit us up. And many of you do. And we thank the Most High for you. Okay? Because we're always going to be here for you. Right? Verse 36.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him,
Mm-hmm.
and let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Read that again.
If thou seest a man of understanding, get the betimes unto him,
Mhm.
and let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Let your foot wear out the steps of his door. Listen, in this walk in this truth, you're going to have to clean yourself to an elder. Ladies, you're going to have to get you a mother, a spiritual mother, and you're going to have to cling to them, and you're going to have to allow everything they have to be poured into you. You just can't be dealing with your peers, people who have the same understanding. Like you see people talking about my prayer partners. Your prayer partner, your study partner shouldn't be somebody that's on the same level as you all the time. Now, you can do that building from time to time, but the people that pouring into you needs to have more to give to you. You got to have people that your relationship is strictly for receiving. And then what happens is, right, you got your peers that you bounce off each other, iron sharpen iron, right? But then you got your spiritual father or your spiritual mother or the elder of your church where they just pouring into you, right? So then you getting poured into, iron getting sharpened, and then you got the person that you're becoming that person for, that you're pouring into them. It's an endless cycle the way this thing works. But what happens is people are walking in pride. They walking in, I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. Listen, you got to get past that stuff. We all need each other. And that's why we did on the lesson last week when we talked about, when we was over in 1 Corinthians 12, we was talking about, listen, no small gift is enough. It's significant. We need each other. We need each other. And that's why I thank the Most High for all of the people that he has sent us, the ones that are rocking with us every other day, because I'm telling you, listen, me and Jay, we remember those days of liberation when it was just us. When we had to preach, teach, raise the offering, pass out the flyers, buy the food, serve the food. We had to do it all. Okay, we remember those days. And we thank the Most High now. We got plenty of people now that are with us. We got more and more people that are joining us. We got people that are around the country, around the world that are sowing into us and assisting us in doing this work. And we thank the Most High for you. We thank the Most High for you. Because we all need each other. This is the growing pains of the truth. Now, D, let's go over to chapter 7. We're almost done. We're going to end off in Galatians 5 tonight. Let's go to Sirach 7. Just give him this wisdom tonight. Give him this wisdom. Forever. Sirach 7. Let's start at verse 1.
Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee.
Read that again.
Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee.
Now, you often hear people quote Galatians 6 and 7 when they're talking about this. No, don't go to that deep. Because Galatians 6 and 7 is not talking about this. You know, despite popular opinion, Galatians 6 and 7 is really talking about money. But people don't realize that. You understand? Because you have to start at verse 6 when it says that he who teaches you share in communication with those who will teach you. And then when you go into Galatians 6 and 7, it says, God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that so he also may reap. For a man who soweth to the Spirit, give to the things of the Spirit, shall reap everlasting, but those who sow to the flesh shall reap corruption. That's verse 8. And then that's when it goes into verse 9 and says, that therefore be not weary in well doing. Okay. That's right, Shah. So that Galatians 6 and 7 is talking about money. But people often put that as for sin, talking about you're going to socialize reap. No, that's not what he's talking about there, man. That's not what he's saying. But over here, Sirach is bringing this out, talking about sin. Read that again, He says what?
Do no evil.
Do no evil.
So shall no harm come unto thee.
Because what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is that many of the problems that are coming into your life are problems that you are actually opening the door to. It's the people that you're dealing with, right? Your relationships, you're leading people on. You're making them think that you want more out of them than you actually do. You understand? Like, listen, me and my brothers talk about this all the time. Like, we don't know where this whole ideal came of, people going on first dates and spending hundreds of dollars on the first date. Who created that? What Bible verse is that? You actually think out of your mind that I'm going to go a person that I just met and go spend $100-something on. You must have lost every ounce of brain function for real. Okay? And so what's going on is that some of these girls are gassing these cats up, right? Gassing them up, sending them pictures and all these things, right? Telling them this and that. These guys are going, spending all this money on a date, and they thinking that it's going to lead to something else. And then when it doesn't, now that guy has dedicated his whole life, to having sex with you. He's going to tell you what you want. And then when he does, you guys are saying, well, it's all good. But when he doesn't meet the requirements no more, now you find yourself somewhere laying in the bed crying, talking about you've been done wrong, when actually you did it to yourself. Okay? And vice versa. Okay? So that's just one small instance is what I'm talking about here, is that people are doing evil and they're not thinking that something that's going to happen to them. You're cutting the throat for people on your jobs, but when it's come time for you to get something, the same people that you cut throat, the ones that the boss is going to saying, hey, what kind of person is speaking evil good? And then you say, they're just hating on me. Nah, not hating, they're telling the truth. You're wicked and evil. Okay. That's what's going down. So read it for me again, Deacon. Says what?
Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee.
Right, verse 2.
Depart from the unjust, and iniquity shall turn away from thee.
See, let me tell you something, man. Every time I hear somebody say this or these memes and say, I pray to God and say to take away my enemies and all my friends start leaving. Every time I see somebody post that, I just laugh, man. I just laugh every time, man. Every time. I pray to God to take away my enemies and all my friends start walking away. You know why? Because you're wicked and evil, man. That's why. Okay. That's why, man. You're wicked and evil. Okay? I don't got no wicked and evil friends. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Hey, read it again, Nicky. It says what? Sirach 7:2. Listen to what he said.
Depart from the unjust.
Depart from the unjust.
And iniquity shall turn away from you.
Iniquity shall turn away. You won't have these problems if you stop hanging with wicked and evil people. Right? Let me get this verse out of Sirach 26. Watch this. Let me build this. Let me get this in full understanding, because this is the growing pains of the truth, right? Right? Let's see. Let me see. I'm going straight to it. Sirach 26. I'm going straight to it. Yeah, give Sirach 23. Let me set it up first. Every man that I meet just never do right by me. I can't find no good man nowhere. Man, all these girls out here is old, man. They don't want nothing but your money, man. There ain't no real girls out here left. Sirach 26:23.
A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
Read that again.
A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
So the reason why you're not finding no good man and no good woman, because you're wicked. Okay? This is the growing pains of the truth. Okay? Proverbs 18:22 says, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Most High. You ain't getting no favor from the Most High, and you wicked. And no man, no king gonna find you if you're wicked. Ladies and gentlemen, let's deal with this relationship thing here, because this is one of the things that's plaguing our people. The desires for companionship and to be married. This is where many of your problems, the foundation for the majority of the problems that you have is going forth. Do you know, many of you ladies, that your king is scrolling past your pictures, your page every day on social media because of the way you're dressed and the way you're posting? Ladies, men, do you realize that the woman that's really there for you is the one that you're walking past on your job every day, the one that you won't even acknowledge because she ain't dressing provocative, and when you try to talk to her, she won't let you have sex with her, and she asks you to come to church and you won't come, and she wants you to get in the word, but you won't. Read it again, Deep. Sirach 26 and 23.
A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
But
a godly woman
is
given to him that feareth the Lord.
If you want a real woman, become a real man. If you want a king, become a virtuous woman. But no, Oprah ain't telling you that, is he? All these women conferences that you're going to telling you, well, fix your hair and wear this heel like this and lose this weight and get this purse and get these clothes. They ain't telling you that, is you? Talking about some finding Boaz. How you gonna find Boaz and you ain't Ruth? Ain't happening. This is the growing pains of the truth here tonight. You understand? You cannot continue to walk in the manner and live in this manner we've been doing in the Christian church and living in the world with the Most High. It ain't working here. You understand? Back to Sirach 7. I just want to bring that up. Sirach 7, verse 3.
My son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, and thou shalt not reap them sevenfold.
So he said, listen, when you out here making these decisions and living this lifestyle with all these wicked and evil people, how are you surprised that wicked and evilness is always at your door? How are you shocked by that? But it's the devil, he busy. No, it's you. Man, every weekend it seems like I'm getting shot up. Because you're in the clubs where they're shooting the clubs up. You understand? Man, every time I turn around, man, some dude trying to fight me. I wonder why. You keep having sex with their girlfriends. Man, all these girls out here don't like me. You know why? Because you're in their man's inbox. But you're in the truth though, right? Right? See, this great stuff, I can do me and living my best life stuff, that work in the Christian church. They don't work over here with the Most High. Because nobody getting held accountable for nothing in there. That's why it's nothing but chaos and madness in there. But that ain't the way it's going to rock with the Most High. And this is part of the growing pains of actually growing up in the Most High. Putting that childish mess along to the side. Watch this. Verse 4.
Seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor.
So don't be going around trying to figure out how you know what I'm saying, I'm the Most High, you know what I'm saying, you're going to put me on. You know what I'm saying? You're going to put me on. I want the glory. Give me the glory. And all that stuff sounds good. I want your glory, Lord. Do you really? Do you really? And we said, what was that last part?
Neither the king the seat of honor.
Uh-huh.
Justify not thyself before the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and boast not of thy wisdom before the king.
Well, you know, God, you know, I've been down there at the church, at Secondary Missionary Baptist Church. I've been down there for 15 years. And I'm top tighter. Yeah, yep. You know, I'm top tighter. I'm there when the church opened up and when it closed, and I've been faithful to my wife all these years. You know, and you know, I do what's right. So I believe that I deserve your blessing. Read it again.
Justify not thyself before the Lord,
Justify thyself not before the Lord, and what else?
and boast not of thy wisdom before the king.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man, hey, you know, I went down there, I went to seminary school, you know, I got my doctors in theology. You understand? So, you know, I could be someone that could be really useful for you. You understand? I'm a great asset to have. Yeah. Listen, we're being funny tonight, but I'm being serious here. The only reason any of us deserve anything is the Yeshua HaMashiach sacrifice for the world to be Jesus Christ. Other than that, we don't deserve nothing. The only thing we should be boasting before the Most High is his son's blood and his word. Period. You're supposed to be faithful to your wife. You don't deserve no props for that. You're supposed to be a good wife. You don't deserve no props for that. I take care of all my kids. You're supposed to. See, this stuff means something in the community of madness when a man can boast of like, yeah, I pay all my child support. What does that mean? You shouldn't have child support in the beginning. I don't run to the club. I ain't like them other girls. I'll be home with my children. That's what you're supposed to do. But in a world of madness, in the community of madness, in the community of foolishness and idolatry and wickedness and evil, these little things get your check marks here and check marks there, but they ain't working with the Most High. You understand? Verse 6.
Seek not to be judged, being not able to take away iniquity. Lest at any time thou fear the person of iniquity, and lay a stumbling block in the way of thy uprightness. I fear not against the multitude of a city, and then thou shalt not cast thyself down among the people. Find not one sinner upon another, for in one thou shalt not be unpunished.
Right.
Say not, God will look upon the multitude of my oblations, and when I offer to the Most High God, he will accept.
This is saying like this, man. I know, listen, I've been in church every week for at least 3 years straight. Now, yeah, I'm shacking at the house. Yeah, I be lying and stuff. Yeah, I am practicing homosexuality at the low. But nobody outpraised the Lord more than me. Ain't nobody a greater giver than me. So I know because of that, he's going to accept me. No. This is the growing pains of the truth. Because I know you heard that all the time in Christian church. Whether you're good outweigh the bad. No. See, this is what has happened. I was thinking about this earlier. Is where they have in the Christian church, you hear all the time people talking about the people who talk about the Bible. They try to say, man, these are legalists. And they follow religion. It's about a relationship. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. You can't have a relationship unless it's a two-way street. Amos 3:3 says, unless two agree, how can they walk together? So you don't get to determine. It's just like you meet a young man or you meet a young lady, and you want a relationship with them. You don't get to come to that person and state your standard and your demands of what you deem that person deserves to be in a relationship with. But that's what Christianity says. He knows your heart. Christianity came up with holidays. They came up with their own day of worship. They came up with the denominations. They done created everything outside of this and this, and telling us that that's acceptable to the Most High. No. We were deceived. The way I like to put it all the time is, if you're in a relationship with somebody on Facebook, you just can't post and say, I'm in a relationship with Mary Smith. Mary Smith has to agree to that being posted before it can be posted. If Yeshua HaMashiach was on social media and you wanted to declare that you was in a relationship, that you was your servant, a disciple of him, by his standards, not your religion, not your personal opinion, would you be acceptable to declare to the world that you was a disciple? Remember, for those who just coming on, we went to Matthew 10 and says, he who confess him before the world, he shall confess him before his Father. But if you do not confess him, he will not confess to you to the Most High. And people get offended when we say this, and I'm telling you, that white Jesus of Christianity is not the guy. So any doctrine that's based on that guy is not going to get you confessed before the Most High. It will not. The color don't matter. Then why they lied about it there? Don't no other person come to me about talking about us telling the truth that Christ is what the world considers to be a black man until you go to every church, till you go to all your churches, till you go to your people on your friend list and tell them to take down the white images. Until you do that, don't talk to the old Israelite about it. How you mad at us for telling the truth but don't hold the liars accountable? And let me put this out here once and for all. Christ is not a man of color. He is black. Pakistanis is a people of color. The people of Iran and Iraq is people of color. Okay? Don't bring that middle of the road ground jump to me. Well, I know Christ is a man of color. You understand? Where we at, D? Sirach 7:10.
Be not faint-hearted when thou makest thy prayer,
Mm-hmm.
and neglect not to give alms. Laugh no man to scorn in the bitterness of his soul.
Uh-huh.
But there is one which humble and exalt.
That's right.
Devise not a lie against thy brother, neither do the lie to thy friend.
Mm-hmm.
Use not to make any manner of lie, for the custom thereof is not good.
That's right.
Use not many words in a multitude of elders,
Mm-hmm.
and make not much babbling when thou prayest.
Read that again.
Use not many words in a multitude of elders.
Don't be trying to impress people. Okay? Just speak when it's necessary and then be quiet. And he says, what else?
And make not much babbling when thou prayest.
Listen, I know that's what we were taught in the Christian church, but that's not what the Most High wants. Okay? The Most High is not impressed with how long you pray. He's impressed with you praying his word and you praying it in faith. Sometimes your most powerful prayer is, Lord, I need you. You understand? Don't think that the Most High is impressed by you saying big words and talking for a long time. That don't impress the Most High. He's looking at what you're saying and if you believe what you're saying. And he will honor it every time. Well, we at D verse 13, verse 15.
Hate not laborers' work, neither husbandry, which the Most High has ordained.
And listen, if the Most High puts you into a position where you're going to have to work hard and get what you got to get, don't be against that, because a lot of times that labor, that tedious labor, is opening up a door for something greater. If the Most High has ordained it, is the key word there. Verse 16.
Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners,
Mhm.
but remember the wrath will not tarry long.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Listen, I'm not telling you to just throw away all of the people in your family and people, your friends. But I'm telling you, you better cast away this herd mentality when you want to be accepted amongst everybody, because it's going to destroy you. It's going to lead you destroyed. Verse 18, verse 17.
Humble thy soul greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worm.
Mm,
Chase not a friend for any good by no means.
that's right.
Neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir.
Listen, you got to stop. We got to stop this thing where we're trying to put back the people that are with us because you think the grass is green on the other side. You got to stop doing that. Where people that held you down when you didn't have nothing, and now you come along and they got some access to this and access to that, and you start leaving the people behind that was with you when you had nothing. Don't do that. Because when that person's done with you, you're gonna be standing there looking stupid. That's what's gonna happen. Watch this, verse 20, verse 19.
Forego not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold.
Read that again.
Forego not a wise and good woman,
Mhm.
for her grace is above gold.
Now put man in there too.
Forego not a wise and good man,
Mhm.
for his grace is above gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand that you better stop this whole thing of trying to worry about what somebody else got to say about the person that the Most High sent into your life. Because many of you right now have the king and the queen that the Most High has brought for your life, but just because they don't meet the standards of what somebody else think you're supposed to have, you stand there looking dumb and won't take and bring them into your life. And then gonna wake up one day by yourself and say, I just guess it wasn't meant for me to have nobody. No, the Most High sent them and you wouldn't take it. Better get over yourself and take and receive what the Most High has for you. Now let's go to Galatians 5 and let's end this off tonight. Matter of fact, Galatians 5 is going to pin us down. Let's end this off in a prophecy. Let's go to Isaiah 55. Let's end it out there. We'll get to the Galatians 5 when we have to deal with it in the end. Let's end off in Isaiah 55. Growing pains of the truth. No, actually, deep. I want Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54, y'all. We're going to end off with that tonight. Perfect place to start up. Isaiah 54. So when it gets hard, when it gets tough, I want you to go back to this prophecy right here and remember this right here is all the motivation you need to make it through these tough times here. Isaiah 54. Let's start at verse 1.
Sing, O barren, that thou this not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud. Thou that didst not travail with child.
Right.
For more are the children of desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord.
He said, listen, I know you don't experience some of the most worst suffering hardship that you ever could have imagined. And all the time you've been watching everybody seem like they've been blessed, and they seem like they've been happy, and it seems like everything been working out for them, and it ain't been working out for you. You know why? Because the Most High has something greater for you. The Most High has so much in store for you, but he was waiting for you to come to him fully in order to get it. They give him Jeremiah 29:11 right quick. I want to nail this all the way home, because I don't want you to think that all this hard work that you're going to have to do inside is going to be for nothing. I'm going to show you right here as we end this thing that your perseverance, your dedication, and your commitment to this truth is going to work out in your favor. Watch this. Jeremiah 29:11. Give him that, D.
For I know the thoughts that I think toward you,
Uh-huh.
says the Lord.
Says the Most High.
Thoughts of peace and not of evil.
Verse 12.
To give you an expected end.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall you call upon me, and you shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you.
You see that? He said, listen, I know what I got for you. I know exactly what I have in store for you. And once you understand that everything I allowed to happen in your life was for your best interest, then you're going to come back to me. You're going to hearken unto me. And you're going to pray unto me. And I'm going to answer you now. See, you thought that was a no, but it really was a not now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you take an alcoholic, a poor man that's an alcoholic, and you give him $1 million, you're going to have a reckless man with $1 million. You take an adulterer and a whoremonger, and a poor whoremonger and an adulterer, and you give him $1 million, he's going to be a fool running around this world with the money to access to sin more. You understand? And so the reason why many of us has been down for so long is because the Most High was cutting off every little thing in your life. Every little hindrance, every little obstacle, every little weight, every little sin that was going to hold you down and keep you from really achieving the fullness of the blessing he has for you. Watch this, verse 13.
And you shall seek me and find me,
Mm-hmm.
when you shall search for me with all your heart.
That's what's going to happen. Because what we were doing, ladies and gentlemen, we were searching him for the benefits of him. We wasn't searching him because we wanted him. We wanted his stuff. We wanted his blessing. We didn't want him. But when you realize that Most High is all you need, that's all you're going to want. And I'm telling you, I'm a living witness that once you do that, everything beyond your imagination is going to start flooding your life. I'm sorry, D. Give me Deuteronomy 28, 1 and 2. Because as Bruce, we always hearing about the Deuteronomy 28, we always going to the curses. Let me show you, let me end off this lesson tonight and showing you the greatness of what's going to happen as a result of your perseverance through this hard times. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 and 2.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Mm-hmm.
to observe and to do all his commandments,
Mm-hmm.
which I have commanded thee this day,
Right?
that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above.
He gonna do what?
Set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Nah, he gonna make you equal to the white man.
Set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Nah, he gonna give you civil rights in America.
Set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Now America's finally gonna understand and receive you now.
Set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
He will set his 12 tribes on high above all the nations upon the earth. We don't want your equality. We don't want it. You understand? Verse 2.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
They're gonna do what?
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
You see that? He said the blessing is gonna come upon you and overtake you if you hearken unto the voice of the Lord, the Most High. You understand? This is the growing pains of the truth. This is why we're gonna go through it. Because we know what's coming. Watch this. Back in Isaiah 54. Verse 2.
The Lord is the place of thy tent,
Uh-huh.
and let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitation.
Mm-hmm.
Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and straighten thy stakes.
Mm-hmm.
But thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left,
Mm.
and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles.
Read that again.
And thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles,
Uh-huh.
and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
You see that? The Most High said, listen, get ready, get ready, get ready. Spread your gates, spread your tents, because everything that has been taken, everything is about to come back to his children. Everything. You understand? Watch this. Verse 4.
Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed.
Uh-huh.
Neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame.
Mm-hmm.
For thou shalt not forget the shame of
For thou shalt forget.
for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth.
That's right.
And shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore.
Anymore. See, that widowhood was when he divorced us because the way our ancestors was acting. Now we're coming back to Yeshua HaMashiach to be married again. That's what the great bridegroom wedding is talking about. You understand? He said it's going to be so great, you're not even going to remember the reproach. You're not going to remember the suffering. You're not going to remember the hard times. You're not going to remember the so-called racism. You're not going to remember the so-called oppression. You're not going to remember all of that that's been done to us in this country. Only thing you're going to be able to see is the glory of the Most High. You understand? Watch this. Verse 5.
For thy maker is thy husband,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord of hosts,
right?
is his name.
Uh-huh.
Thy Redeemer,
The who?
Thy Redeemer,
Mm-hmm.
the Holy One of Israel.
Uh-huh.
The God of the whole earth shall he be called.
You see that? See, now it ain't gonna go from just he being our God. Now the whole world ain't gonna have no other choice but to acknowledge the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because see, and I know this is gonna offend some of you Christians, but that God is over Christianity, that God in America talking about is not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because if they were, they would be doing this, and they wouldn't be doing no Christmas, they wouldn't be doing no Easter, they wouldn't be doing no Thanksgiving, they wouldn't be doing no Sunday service, they wouldn't be doing no breaking the laws, they wouldn't be doing none of that. But when he raised us back up, and everything that the Gentiles returned back to us, the whole earth is gonna say, that's the Most High. They give them Jeremiah 16 and 19 what the Gentiles gonna say. Watch this. Because I don't want to think it's my opinion, D. You know that's what they say. That's just you. That's just how you see it. Jeremiah 16 and 19. This is what the Gentiles gonna tell Christ.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress,
Uh-huh.
and my refuge in the day of affliction.
Uh-huh.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth,
Uh-huh.
and shall say, surely our father have inherited life.
Surely our fathers have inherited lies. That's what they're gonna tell Christ. What else they gonna tell him?
Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity,
Vanity,
and things where therein there is no profit.
no profit. All of it, no profit. That's what the Gentiles, when they see us come back, that's what they're gonna tell the Most High. That's what they're gonna tell Christ. We inherited lies. All of it. Back to Isaiah 54. Watch this. Verse 6. We said we read verse 5. Verse 6.
For the Lord has called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit,
That's right.
and a wife of you when thou was refused, saith thy God.
Uh-huh. Verse 7.
For a small moment have I forsaken
That's
thee,
right.
but with great mercies will I gather thee.
Read that again. I got the money.
For a small moment have I forsaken thee,
Uh-huh.
but with great mercies will I gather thee.
Uh-huh. Verse 8.
In a little wrath I hid my face
Uh-huh.
from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness.
But wait, what?
But with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer.
Verse 9.
For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth,
Uh-huh.
so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee,
With who?
with thee,
Uh-huh.
nor rebuke thee.
That's right. Verse 10.
For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee.
From who?
From thee.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that has mercy on
On thee. Now, D, give them Hebrews 8 so they can see who the covenant's with. Hebrews 8, verse 8 through 10. Let me show them who the covenant's with. Because they're going to tell you, nah, man, it's with everybody. All of us going to get it. Hebrews 8, verse 8 through 10.
For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
That's right.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers
Not that old covenant.
in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
That's right.
Because they continue not in my covenant, I regard them not, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
We're going to make it with who?
The house of Israel.
With the Christian church.
The house of Israel.
With the Baptists.
The house of Israel.
With the Catholics.
The house of Israel.
Now it's with the Jewish people.
The house of Israel.
Uh-huh.
After those days, saith the Lord.
Uh-huh.
I will put my law into their minds.
Mm-hmm.
I will write them in their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be to them a God.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall be to me a people.
Mm. You see that? Come on. Back to Isaiah 54. Let's get it. Verse 11.
O thou afflicted,
Mm-hmm.
with tempest and not comforted, behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphire. I will make thy windows of the gates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones.
That's right.
All thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. And righteousness shall thou be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. Behold, they shall surely gather together.
That's right.
But not by me.
See, read it again. They go, what the Gentiles gonna do?
Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me.
I'm not sending them. He said they're gonna come, they're gonna try to destroy you, but it ain't me that's sending them. What did he say?
Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake.
Read it again. Read it again.
Behold, they shall surely gather together, but not by me.
Uh-huh.
Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake.
Anyone that come against us will fall for our sake. Stop worrying about what they're trying to do to us. The Most High is going to deal with every last one of them. Every last one of them. You see that? Watch this. Go ahead.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
He said, listen, every gun, every weapon, every little missile, every little vaccine, every little stuff that they made, they all making it by the stuff that I created. Okay? They ain't doing nothing on their own. They think it is, but it's all my stuff. Watch this. Verse 16, verse 17.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
Read that again.
No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
Uh-huh.
And every tongue, this is the heritage of God, and the righteousness is of me.
Saith the Most High. Y'all hear? Y'all see that? It's the growing pains in the truth. Woo! Woo! Tonight I'd like to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya Roel Walk for everything that took place tonight. And for those of you not familiar with the Hebrew, that is all praise unto the Most High in the name of Christ as well as the Holy Spirit for every single thing that the Most High brought out here on tonight. You understand? I just thank the Most High for what he has done. I thank the Most High for what he's continuing to do. And I thank the Most High that you all are with us and you're for us and you understand truthfully that the Most High is with you. He's with you. And I know that it may seem like he's not. It may seem like you're going through this all by yourself, but you don't have to worry about it. The Most High is with you. And you just got to stay with it. You got to trust the Most High. That is all going to work out for your favor. Now, as I said before, we got a Passover coming out next week. On Friday sundown, Saturday sundown is the Passover. On next Friday, we're going to come on, me and Jay, we're going to come on for about an hour or so. We're going to teach on the history. He started laughing all the time. It won't be a full lesson. We're going to teach on the history of the Passover. But we asking all the people that's in our area, that's in the North Carolina area, South Carolina area, those who, whatever. We ask you guys to come out and celebrate with us Saturday at 3 o'clock. in Wadesboro, North Carolina. If any of those who want to get any more information on that, just inbox us afterwards, and we will get that information to you. We need you to register. We need you to let us know so we can have all the proper food and the communions and things of that nature. No offering. Come as you are, and we're gonna have a great time in the Lord. Man, I think that's it. Did you have anything? Shy? Anything you want to bring into the table? While she coming, while she hearing that, like we always say, we want you to know that we're here for you, that we love you. We continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High God. And know that, and just know and trust that God is for you, and that nobody can be against you because God is for you. And I know it may seem as if you're doing this thing alone, but you're not alone. Just continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High. We love you. No, we're praying for you. Yeah, we're here for you. Barakatah. Kwam Yasharala.
Zeal stay on one trip. Zeal stay on one trip. Zeal stay on one trip.
Yeah, keep that zeal on 120.
Salute priest, no enemy. I'm caught out in. Zeal stay on one trip. 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 Salute priest, no enemy. I'm caught out in. Zeal stay on one trip. Zeal stay on one trip.
Ahaya. Song I roll with forever.
Down straight off script. All I do is hit the bell. Full speed, how I'm living. Positive, how I'm feeling. Negative, call me villain.
Just how I'm living, work, stop, self living.
All the season in a minute. Mighty power do the truth. Process is a must.
Everybody in a rush. No more running across the street.
Say they only want to push. Say they gotta have it sweet.
Niggas time when my friends broke.
Family matter and my wins slow.
3 cents on the squeeze. All I need is a reason.
What's a pay to a fight? For losing both got some pipes. Connection a little higher. Room 2, what's a white?
Clean the first and my third stop.
Good deeds never pass off. Without guidance, you a tad off. Bitch
Talk like fast off.
my dog, that's lame. Mighty walk, yeah, it's dangerous.
This little prince know it. All down the house in it. Barakatah. Kwam Yasharala, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of the Sabbath. We love each and every one of you. Shalom.